much action to it. Like, I mean, he did do the guts with the catfish, but he didn't, like, we found out later that he didn't help. So, I mean, I think that was a key thing where he just kind of represented those people who agreed with the actions, but didn't actually do them. Chloe?
I think RC and Grandpa were like the two different kinds of racist people in the South. Grandpa was the kind that was like going to be in like organizations and taking action against it, and RC was probably that like just the random kids that went around like they didn't really do much like torturing or whatever, but they were still mean and they still like were pretty racist.
I also think that RC, I think during the story he was put in there because they didn't mention much of another antagonist in the story other than Grandpa or Milam or Bryant, which they didn't mention a lot about, so I thought that he was mentioned to be sort of that main antagonist that sort of flowed through the whole story. Your city, and they were like, they didn't really.
Wasn't really ever alive, there might still be segregation. So I'm not really glad that he died. I'm glad that he was alive, but I'm not glad about what happened to him. So,
Well, I was sorry. My rage is
Something I just thought of was how I could just not imagine being Emmett's mother, how incomprehensible that would be to, after to just see his body after that beating. I mean, that's just crazy to see. I mean, how crazy that is.
Okay. I was thinking about like the parents and everything, and even though that Hiram, even though that he didn't like his dad, didn't listen to him a lot, he still like felt a lot like him. So even if you don't like your parents, you're still like somehow getting like influence from them. So because he was a lot like his dad, and he wanted civil rights and stuff.
This is sort of what Austin said.
I didn't really understand why they put Naomi in
like, well, cause obviously Hiram cared about a lot of people, cause he cared about like Emmett and then Naomi obviously, and so maybe like one person can do like different things cause of her dad and stuff that could help.
I think they put Naomi in there because she like really she had like a bad family life and like all the people that she was around like all the time was really like bad and like influenced her in like a bad way. But she still like was a good person and she still believed that like racism wasn't good and stuff, and so I think he put them in there to say like that there's people out there that are good, but they can't do anything about it.
I think he put Naomi in there to make it interesting because they liked each other and to like help hear him out because she was like there for him a lot.
I think if they put Naomi in there because, like, what they said, I agree with them, but I also think that they put Naomi in there, like, as a conflict because when Hiram was going to go to court and, like, tell the truth on what happened, Naomi, like, had to stop him and, like, didn't want Naomi to, no, Naomi didn't want Hiram to, like, tell the truth.
I'm gonna change it up a little bit because we were talking about Naomi for a while. So, I'm gonna ask the question like, why do you think that they had the incident down by the river? And my opinion is that they put it down there as a false foreshadowing as to what would come.
Yeah, I agree with you that because of that, people would think that RC was the third person, that it's like a red herring. But I also think it shows that a lot of people in the South at that time were against African American people, like being equals. So I think that showed that some people were very violent with their thoughts, like RC was. Like they didn't agree with it, so then they just were mean to people like that just because they wanted to and they felt like they were better than them.